cheerleading, you probably think of cheers like "Go Fight Win" and girls running around in tight outfits with pom-poms. But that's not what I'm talking about today. According to Eric Brady from USA Today, there are 3 million cheerleaders in the United States. It's also the 9th most popular female sport. I'm here to convince you and give you my personal opinion as to why I believe competition cheerleading should be considered a sport. It's not sideline cheerleading. It's not what you see on the sidelines of football games or basketball games. It's where hundreds of squads come to an arena and compete for a title. And a lot of people do not realize how much time and effort is put into each competition. I believe competition cheerleading should be considered a sport because they practice over 20 hours a week. It involves every muscle in their body, coordination, and endurance. First, let me define the noun sport for you. Princeton University defines it as an active diversion requiring physical exertion and competition. Most highly competitive squads will practice up to 18 hours a week. That's 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. And adding on to that, they have to cheer for a sporting event. College and high school will not allow them to just be a competitive cheerleading squad. They have to cheer for football, cheer for basketball, some sport. And adding more to that, they have to make time for weight training. Yes, cheerleaders do lift weights. And equaling all that out is 25 hours of commitment. And the average college football team practices about 26 hours a week, and that's including weight training. Actually, a lot of big-time college football players have once been suckered into doing competitive cheerleading by their girlfriends, by their sisters, whomever. And after participating in it, even for a short amount of time, they realized that it took a lot more than they thought it would. And that's in an article stated by Harriet Barovic and Hillary Hilton. Cheerleaders also require the use of every muscle in their body to make their routines happen. Neda Rondon states in an issue of Sports Illustrated for women that it actually has become a requirement once girls reach a certain age to be able to bench press at least 100 pounds, if not more, because everyone on the squad is required to lift a girl that's at least 115 pounds. It could be up to 130, and even in some cases, men will fly, and they can be up to 200 pounds. The arm, leg, back, chest, and stomach muscles are exerted in each of their competitions and practices. Weight training is extremely important for girls and men to be able to compete and remain at that certain level of competitive capability because they need all of their muscles to be very strong for tumbling and stunting. Cheerleading also requires a lot of coordination, rhythm, and timing. You need all of these skills in order to do any of the aspects of cheerleading. It's not only coordination rhythm with yourself, but it's also coordination rhythm and timing with all of the other people on your squad. Because squads can have up to 30 members, and you have to be able to work with all of them to make your routine perfect. And if in competitions you only get 2 minutes and 30 seconds to exert everything that you've worked on in months of practice for that short amount of time. And if even one person messes up, a lot of points will be deducted. And it's really not easy, and it takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience. Competitive cheerleading also requires a lot of endurance. Like football and track, cheerleading requires stamina. You have to be in extremely good shape to be able to be a competitive cheerleader. Highly competitive squads will weight train and practice year-round to be able to reach that point of perfection. According to Harriet Barovic and Hillary Hilton in their article, there is also a huge risk of serious injury. Injuries in cheerleading are 6 times as high as injuries in football. Also, Kate Togovnik from Sports Illustrated states that over the past 23 years, 107 female athletes have died or been paralyzed, and 60 of those athletes were cheerleaders. And in 2006, close to 25,000 cheerleaders landed in the emergency room. You can probably tell I have a heart for this, and that's because I've been a cheerleader for 4 years, and 2 of those years I was captain of my cheerleading squad. I was also nominated to be a part of the National Cheerleading Association when I was a junior, and that's the leading sponsor of cheerleading competitions and camps throughout the country. In conclusion, some may argue that this sport isn't dynamic enough, but when it's broken down, competition cheerleading requires hours of practice, endurance, coordination, stamina, and the use of every muscle in their bodies. By definition and actuality, competition cheerleading is a sport. Thank you.